So welcome to another video. This one's really exciting for us because we finally made progress with the outside of the house, and we actually cannot wait to show you because it's incredible how different the house looks now to what it looked like before. And it feels like it's a new beginning for us. It feels like this is finally our home. We can move here, we can breathe here. It's exactly perfect how we wanted it. I'm sure you can already see behind us that this part of the house now actually exists. It has its own space. So what we did was, I think you can remember that we had 3 oaks here. We now have 2 because the middle one was actually rotten inside. So that's obviously gone. The pond's gone. All of the shrubs are gone. Everything that was once here is gone. It was very rocky, it was very unlevel terrain. Obviously the pond in the middle had plastic inside, so we decided to get rid of it completely. And instead, oh yeah, all the bricks are gone. So there's no more bricks here. We actually got rid of the bricks and we built this beautiful patio instead. Right now we have it on this slope. And for this year, we are just going to plant grass and maybe some wildflowers on the slope. But in the future, we do have the idea of creating some big steps in the middle. And originally, we had the idea to have the patio even bigger. We wanted to make it to the end of this stump, so it would have literally run to where I'm standing now. But we decided that might be way too big, and that we don't have enough things on there and it would just look like a dead open space. So we decided to make it a little bit smaller, but I think it's still big enough. When I stand here, I feel like I have enough space to move about. We will obviously have a different layout in the future. This is just for now, but you can easily have a table here. We have a bench. We also have a bench here. We have the grill, and in the future, I think we will plant also like a row of flowers here that will just make it feel a little bit closed off so that it isn't just so open. But apart from that, we're really happy. And of course, this is just the base material. This is the first layer. We've literally done it all by hand with a rake and of course the digger. And we had it flattened with a machine. We did it like centimeter by centimeter to make sure every little section was level and to make sure that it ran away from the house so that no water pools at the house when it rains. So this literally took us 2 days and we're very proud of it. And of course, on top of this will come gravel. We're currently waiting to figure out the right type of gravel that we want to use. We think we want like a yellow, medium stone gravel, hopefully, and it's proven to be really difficult to find the right type, so we're just living like this and hoping to find the right one soon. And I'm not sure if you can already see above me and you're just waiting for me to talk about it, but the windows are in. We are so excited. We were really nervous when designing the windows that they might look a little bit odd here, with the middle window being slightly bigger than the other 2. But I think it looks perfect. It looks so airy, so open, and there's such a beautiful structure. The middle ones are actually perfect fitted with the downstairs window. So we're really happy. I think we have decided to potentially paint it red. We are still deciding, but we have the same red paint now as the other side of the house. So we think we might go ahead with that, and we think the windows will pop even more then. So we're really excited for that. And then we will carry on. So we obviously kept our little stump here. In the future, I am thinking of maybe planting some little wildflowers around this also, and also around the well. And if you can see, we actually have a path now that continues round the back of the house, and we are so happy. I will first talk with this side because, as you can see, it is now just a one huge, massive open space. The amount of work it took to get the house to look like this, or the space to look like this, is just incredible. I think in the end, we ended up cutting about 20 trees, which needed to be cut down, and we couldn't be happier with the results. The stumps, the big stumps, were somewhere around here, and they were like this big. And when the stump guy came, he really had a tough time with them. So we also used the chainsaw to cut them even lower so that we can actually have the ground level. It was a lot of work to get it this level. We really wanted it to be as flat as possible and to have the leftover trees have space to breathe and get light and be able to grow better. So of course we left this section of trees here and this section because it's very symmetrical with the house, and I just really love them now. And the goal is to create flower beds around them, if you can imagine, in like a circle shape. So I just want to talk about these trees actually in more detail because there's a reason I decided to keep them. They are very symmetrical when you look from the house, and in the future we were thinking they could either lead through the forest or we could create some aesthetic in the middle here. And they obviously need a little bit of care. This one is missing bark because the huge tree fell into it, but it's still okay. And my goal is to create some round flower beds here, so that obviously the roots aren't showing, and then to match with the forest and the natural aesthetic of the house, I'm thinking of planting some either wildflowers here or in late winter, early spring, some snowdrops and some crocuses and all of those things, so that this section of the house, or of the garden I should say, for this section of the garden will always look super magical and always be flowering, and it's very good for the bees, which are literally right here. So I'm really excited, and I think that this will be the first section for me to plant. So I don't know if you can already see, we already have little bulbs here, thousands of them, which I think are from snowdrops. So I really want to plant this soon so that this late winter, early spring, we get all the flowers here and it actually feels like we make some progress. And yeah, now we obviously have more special trees. So when you look out even this way, these trees just stand out so much more, and they have their own space and they literally shine. And of course we have planted grass, so grass should grow here. And in the future we will have some vegetable patches here and things like that. So the space will be filled again. It won't be left empty for long. Moving on, we've also cleared the section around the bees, so we have more space for them. And we are just in the process of clearing some of the bush/trees here that were also dying. We had a few dead cherry trees that we had to unfortunately cut down, but the goal with this side of the house in the future is to plant more fruit trees, because this side of the house gets the most sunlight. So we will for sure definitely have more trees in the future. And of course, with us having to cut down the pear tree, which unfortunately was unwell, but also very close to the house, our goal is to have the same type of pear tree again, but just over here, so it has some space for itself. And now the magnolia can shine, but not only that, you can see the path. So we also did the path running all the way around the back of the house to the front of the house. And if you've noticed, we always try to use curvature, round corners, try to minimize as much as possible the use of straight lines. Even here, we like the fact that it's a little bit wibbly wobbly because the house is very natural. So we want that feeling to run around, that it's all very calm, very relaxed, very natural. So we're really, wait, I'm on a breath. So we are really happy with the decision to have the path run this type of way around the house. We feel like when you're stood at that end, that the eye takes you further and takes you around the house. And also the way that it runs from the front door, that you can go both ways. You have space in front of the magnolia now. You feel like you want to be there. And we decided to go with the flower beds this deep. Originally we wanted them deeper, but the one problem I faced was that I didn't want to cut the magnolia back too much. And sometimes it feels like you're walking way too close to it. So I decided to compromise and make the flower beds a little bit smaller, but we're still really happy with the size. And we're definitely planning on planting quite a bit in here. If you may want to know, if you've been following along, that the bees are fine. We've worked this whole time around them and they are actually still here. I don't know if you can see, there is actually something going on right here. They are just unhappy. But even though they're not coming out, they're still there. So, and going back around the back, just backtracking on myself, I want to talk about why we decided to make the flower bed smaller here. So this flower bed is double of the size than this. This is half. And we have, of course, made a round edge. And my reason for that being is, of course, I've jet washed the wall, and we will try to get the rest of it off as well. And although I am traumatized with climbing things on the house, there's many reasons why we don't want. Rodents can climb up the wall, and of course it can also go in the building and destroy the building itself. But we think that this side of the house is a little bit boring if it doesn't have some feature to it. So we are working on a way to find a good climbing plant to put here that will help the house look very more aesthetic and symmetrical here, but not destroy it. So the flower bed is shorter because we will have climbing plants here, hopefully. So we don't need the depth, but we have some depth to also put plants in front that aren't climbing. So that's why we've done that, and we hope that it works. Now, carrying on, we have the path going all the way around, and the reason we made it this size was so that two people can comfortably walk together, but also if you need to walk through with a wheelbarrow, you can. And if you notice the stones, we actually got these stones with the house. They were on the other side, but my idea is to obviously have cobbles running alongside both sides of the path, which will feel very cottagey and feel very rustic. And that's exactly the vibe we want to go for. But these feel a little bit too big and clunky, and they're also very heavy. So I don't think these are the right ones, but we may find a use for them anyway somewhere else. We just kind of got the feeling for it here, and we definitely love that idea. And then, what else did we do? And then here we kind of ran out of material. We decided that we will continue with the rest of the driveway at a later date because this is kind of manageable for now, but we really wanted to get the pathways done. And I just want to show, like, when you look at it from this way, you look beyond the house, whereas before when it was the little red road, you only look to the front door where it took you, and your eye didn't take you further like the walkway does now, which really excites me because it makes it more open and airy here. And we also decided to do a corner here, but again, we made the bed a lot deeper. So this is bigger than this side now. And it also has a little curvature to it. This isn't a straight line here. And we quite like that it's a little bit off because it just fits with the whole aesthetic of the house. It's not a perfect layout. And with this flower bed, we aren't 100% finished yet. We left it quite rough so we can look at it over a few days and we can decide if we want to make it bigger or smaller or change things. But we decided to go the full way. At first, we only wanted to do like a half bed here in front of the window because I thought that the flowers can sometimes make the window look quite short. But we decided now to go for the full length bed. And after thinking about it, we may also have some climbing plants here or some different variations in front of the window that are a little bit smaller, but also beautiful from inside. And we got the hose here now, which is perfect place for it. And then if you notice the hedge, so we used to have the hedge, I'm gonna stand where it used to be. The hedgelings literally were like here, so they were really far off the fence and very much on the driveway. But we decided to move them right along the fence line so that we have extra space. And it means when you enter, you can literally drive straight here now. And if we look that way, we got rid of the willow, we got rid of the dead shrubs, everything that was dead here. So it's all an open space now. Well, it was until we started parking in it, but it's already being used as a car park. But we have so much room here, we actually can't decide how to use it yet. So for now, we are just flexible and are just using it as a car park, and we're gonna see if that's the way we wanna keep it. But we've gained so much space and so much light. When I get up in the mornings now and you can see the sunrise coming over here, it's so beautiful and it feels like we have so much character back in the house. So I'm really in love with it. We both really love the decisions we made already, and we can't wait for it to bloom next year. So we're really, really excited about that. We're really excited for the grass to grow. We're really excited to have a winter at this house now where we can use paths and not walk in mud, and hopefully our car doesn't get stuck. We really love how we've utilized the space around the house now and how we make the house stand out in its own way, and each part of the house is beautiful in its own way and part of the garden, and how we can also make the house more practical. So we're very, very grateful to have got to make so much progress already so far, and we hope that we can make the same progress with the inside of the house now as well. I'm also hoping to make some progress this year with the garden, with some form of plants and hopefully the grass growing and the trees doing well. So hopefully it all works out and that we have a beautiful garden by next year.